I'm Ilse Van Roy. I'm a Belgian artist living in the area of Brussels, work there. I work a lot with glass. Glass and textiles are the main materials that I'm working with, and I do it almost for 20 years. I'm artistic professor in Belgium in a fine art master degree institute and program, and I also do that in the Netherlands at the Rietveld Academy. So after or behind the teaching, I'm a contemporary artist for more than 20 years, and you see here glass pieces, and that's also the thing, glass, that I manipulated the most. Most of my works are connected to that material. It's not just connected with material, but it's also connected with a deeper idea or discussion on the new narrative or language that we need for art and craft. We have like the two things, it's like a lower and a higher situation in arts and craft, and it's something that triggers me as an artist to work with. It's also something about time, movement. Glass and movement is something that's very connected. And the collaborative aspects in my big pieces of glass are all like this. I always need more or less 7 people to produce it. It is super huge, high, heavy. I work with Czech people together in the Bohemian area, Pačinek studio. They are like the best top in the world, and they blow for me the pieces in the end. But I draw, I make the first sketches, I make the smaller pieces. And the idea of producing the pieces has a lot to do with the movement that I said before. It is because you have a sort of dance that's the dance exists because it's the way how you blow your own breath in the pieces. You have it on a stick and you're really need to blow the glass and turn it. And on a certain moment, I am the director of my work, and I define the thickness, the colors, the mass of glass, and so on. And in this case, I wanted to work with the idea of a rebirth, reborn thing. You have like the burnt, you see the metal stands that I more like to want to give it the word that it's a body. It's just a body that keeps the burn block, and a burn block has to do with that everything is burnt and there is something happening, like everything is destroyed and you start up to see new life or a new universe or a new beginning of something. So the burn thing was very important, and the seed, of course, is a symbol for birth and a symbol for the mother and a symbol for containing something, and what it contains is maybe not defined yet, but that is the start, and the undefined and the start, but not more narratives around it yet, is something that triggers me in making pieces. That's happening here, but it's also happening in my other work. It's always something in between. It's the big glass pieces that I also sometimes make are like moving. There's really physically moving. Here it is like moving in the conceptual idea of the unknown factor where we go through, how to unify things when there's still a lot not defined. So yeah, I'm happy that the pieces is in the show, and I think it's of course we have the 10 steps in the exhibition of the new arc. And a few works also have included the egg in their pieces, like Michael Hutter in his painting. There you like how the connection goes through. I also love that part, that we can connect each other also on that level as artists. Producing this piece is something that I control more or less, the glass part. And what as an artist, I'm more and more connected to dancers. Dance, really physical dance. So the new projects that are coming up are projects that I am making collaborations with a dancer who will move my objects as her own body, and the glass pieces are also a body. So it's like how human and how material objects will be a subject in the end, like an identity. I also have something with naming my pieces. This installation called Seeds of Blue In other work, I really want to name my pieces as female names, to give the viewer already the idea that the object isn't an object but is a subject, and that it's something that lives, that contains things. So my new project with the dancers will underline more and more that aspect of really physically move and do performative work, or filming work, because of course if you have a sculpture you have like a static piece that's of course moving other things but not physically, and the physically movement that you have with glass blowing, I'm super interested in trying to make that, that bridge to do this in performance, and yeah, that's a new step in my oeuvre that I'm still yeah, I still try out and try to discover. And after that I have a few new textile pieces that are coming. Textile is for me also something that has to do with movement. I knit a lot. I have a next project coming on with a huge knitting curtain and wind. And again, then you see how it's connected with all the stuff, that it's about the textile and the wind and the passing by of viewers, and like how they start up a movement of air. That's a thing that I'm also will experiment the upcoming time.